Howdy, guys. So, I am starting to feel a little bit better, thank God. I've been taking a lot of, what is it called, emergency chewable vitamin C tablets, and they've been actually making me feel a lot better. So, we've got some interesting stuff to talk about today, like this right here, this earthquake up here, if it'll click, there we go. 5.0 near Fort McPherson, 1.7 kilometers. Yeah, that is very odd. Very large and very shallow. But the thing that I noticed, let's go over, and I'll leave a link to this in the description box below, the Canadian site, which I just found today. So, they are listing this as, let's see, latitude, longitude 65.45, 134.07, 65.495, 134.05. Yep, that's the same exact one. It says 5.0 on the 22nd, 8 o'clock. Yep, 8 o'clock on the 22nd, and they said it's a 5.9 at, but what is the depth? It says 5.3 is the depth for that one. What is the depth in? I do not believe the depth will be in kilometers for Canada. I don't think it will be, but I don't know. But the magnitude, they say, was a 6. A 5.9, almost a 6.0. And I do notice that some of these quakes down here actually have not been reported by the USGS. I noticed that a lot of quakes that happen up in Canada are more reported by the Canadian Seismic Agency than the USGS, which is very odd. And yeah, it's very shallow quake, very shallow. And we just got, I live in Seattle, Washington, and I keep an eye on some of the volcanoes around here. We just got 2 quakes in a very short period of time. Very small, though. 1.6, 0.9, but that's at Mount St. Helens. That's right near the base of Mount St. Helens right there. But with this large quake that happened today up here, very large and very, very shallow. Very shallow. I plugged in the coordinates here on Google Earth, and it occurred right at the edge of this mountain range right here. So let's zoom in. I haven't looked at this yet, so let's see what's here. Any sign of old lava flows? Any old volcanoes? No, I don't see much. Got some lakes here, though. And the detail is crappy. So maybe we can go back in time and see some better imagery. Looks like we can't. Okay. Yeah, it was right at the edge of this mountain range right here. Very large, very shallow. So, I don't think it was caused by a tectonic plate. I don't think it's a tectonic earthquake because, yes, they can be that shallow, but I don't know. It could be, but. Oh, and do you hear that? My son's screaming in the background. Okay, so in my last video, a few days ago, remember how I was on this graph? This is Red Lodge, Montana, December 20th, 2017. And this is 2 days, about 1.5, 2 days after the low-frequency tremors ended, the most recent episode. And we had those large spikes, which I connected for the past 2 times of low-frequency events, where the low-frequency event would happen, and then almost exactly 2 days later, we'd see a good 4 or 5 hour period of these large tremors right here. Well, remember how I said I believe that the tremors are going to return in the next week to week and a half? Well, looky here. I started seeing this when this graph first started, and I saw these little jagged edges right here. I was like, oh, great. Here we go again. And we go down. And this is the 5.0. The 5.0, which I'm going to say it's a 5.9. I mean, look at the extended coda. Look at that. That is definitely a larger earthquake than just a 5.0. But then again, it was shallow. Very, very shallow. But that's not what I'm looking at here. Look at these low-frequency tremors right here. See those jagged edges right there? Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And pretty much happens throughout the whole graph. Usually when the low-frequency events start, they usually are quite constant for a few days. But this is the first time that I've seen this low-frequency event return so quickly. I mean, the last episode lasted almost 5 days, and it ended about 2 days ago. So, we see that they have indeed returned, and I was right. But, you know, I thought it was going to be a week. I had no clue that they would start up again this quick. So let's go through some of the graphs that are around the area. Let's look at the short period graph for Missoula, Montana for today, December 22nd. And you can see the increase here as well. You see those jagged edges up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Missoula isn't that great at showing the low frequency events. And here's the long period graph. You definitely see a large increase from earlier today. So next one we're going to go to is 6 Mile Mountain. And let's zoom in. And you see as we slowly go through the day, notice how the low frequency tremors reappear. Especially right there. Look at that. Those definitely harmonic tremors. More magma coming in. Or maybe not coming in, just more magma doing whatever it's doing under the crust. Alright, I found one that I wanted to show you guys that was very, very concerning. Let's see. No, that's not it. I forget the name of it. Which one was it? Oh man, that's Mount Humbug. You can really see him there. Let's see. Was it Barton Gulch? No, it wasn't Barton Gulch. Definitely see them at Barton Gulch as well, though. Let's see. Earthquake Lake. Earthquake Lake usually never shows them. Let's see. Black Pine Ridge, I believe. No, it wasn't Black Pine Ridge, but look at this. Look at that. Okay, so notice how we have some small jagged up and down, up and down, up and down movements. You know, some small low frequency tremors here and there, but they aren't constant. So we go later on in the day. There's that 5.0 up in Canada, Alaska. And there we are. Look at that. You see the jagged up and down motions? Those are low frequency events, which usually is a sign of rising magma, which usually happens before an eruption. But these have actually been going on for the past 2 or 3 years. But it's just this year that they started to become way more frequent. I mean, they've been happening almost like once or twice a week now. I mean, they've been happening a lot. See up here? Notice? Notice the pattern. You can barely see the pattern. But then you go down here, and you can definitely see that up and down pattern. Very rhythmic motion. See that? Definitely a difference. But I'm still trying to find that graph that I wanted to show you guys. No, it was not Chamberlain. Let's see here. Was it Grey Cliff? No, but this is weird. Grey Cliff has been having some weird activity lately. Very weird. Let's go to the previous day. Yeah, look at that. Let's zoom in on that. This was yesterday on December 21st. I don't believe those are low frequency tremors, but the amplitude and the waveform actually is very weird. With all the signals that I've seen before, I actually do not recognize this one. So if anybody out there knows what this seismic signal is, please let me know, because I've never seen one like this, quite like this before. It's quite strong, though. That is not the graph that I wanted to show you. Let's see. Stillwater Mine still has those very rhythmic beats. Looks like they're starting to calm down a little bit. Let's see, Mission Creek. It was not Mission Creek, but they got some strange activity there. And let's go back to the past day on December 21st for Mission Creek, showing almost the same activity as Grey Cliff. So let's go down. Was it Chrome Mountain? Oh, yes. Here we go. Here we go, guys. I found it. This is Chrome Mountain, which is somewhat near Red Lodge, Montana. Okay, so we could definitely tell that when I first saw this graph coming in today, when it first started, I noticed the jagged up and down motions, and I said, hey, you know, it's looking like those low frequency events are about to return. And then again, there's that 5.9. I'm going to say it was a 5.6 in Canada. USGS has a 5.0, but you know, USGS always downgrades everything for some weird reason. And look at that tremor right there. You see the harmonic tremor? That's definitely a harmonic tremor. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And then you can see it increases throughout the day. And look at how strong these are. Look at that throughout the whole graph. You see that? Look at that. They are back. The low frequency events are back, and they're stronger than ever. Oh, yes, guys. Looks like the low frequency events are actually rising in frequency. Not waveform frequency, I'm talking about time frequency. Like, it's happening a lot more often. And I'm going to say that this low frequency event will last, depending on how strong it is. I'm going to say it's going to last until Christmas Eve. I'm going to say. I'm probably going to be wrong, because I don't know how to truly predict these things. I doubt anybody can. But from how it looks right now, it could last another day or two. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say December 24th. Alright, let's see the other ones. 9 Mile Divide was taken offline. This is where we should be down here with the seismic data, but they took it offline. Looks like those tremors are starting to concern them as well. And let's go to Big Hole Peak, and look at that. They took that one down as well. But the thing that concerns me is that Alberton has been showing the same activity as 9 Mile Divide, especially these very, very, very strange signals. Those definitely look like, I'm going to say, a bimodal frequency tremor. I'm not that familiar with bimodal frequency tremors, but the ones that I have seen in the past do kind of look like this, I'm going to say. Probably wrong, though, but it is a possibility. That's not a low frequency harmonic tremor, though. It's something else, but definitely not normal because this same activity is shown on 9 Mile Divide. Let's go down. Let's see. LKWY is still offline since November 6th. Still. Come on, guys. Get that damn thing back up and running. Alright, this is Newport, Washington. Just north of Spokane, Washington, I believe. This is today again. And you can see up there, not much activity to worry about. And you go down here and look, we got a little more of the jagged movement up here. But let's go to Rapid City, South Dakota for today. Let's zoom in. All right, you can see the jagged up and down motions. It was starting to come about. And then there's that 5.6 in Canada. And you go down here, and this is Rapid City, South Dakota, a good 300 miles away from Yellowstone, and you can see the very rhythmic pattern, up and down, the jagged up and down motions of those low-frequency harmonic tremors. And this one's set at 1,000 microvolts, so it would be pretty strong if it was set a little lower. You see that? Okay, notice the difference. Notice these very jagged, I'm going to say blobs. Some of them kind of do look like blobs a little bit, but notice those up there? Up here, there's barely any at the beginning. Look up here. And then down here, and up here, and down here, and up here, and down here. Yeah, something's definitely happening, guys. Apparently, I am right. I was right. It did return, but I thought it was going to be at least another week until they return. But apparently not. And it looks like Bozeman, Montana was taken offline around 2 UTC, December 21st, 2017. Yeah, guys, it looks like volcanic activity is definitely increasing everywhere on the Earth right now. Oh, yeah, and speaking of that, remember the volcano that I showed in the other video that erupted, Bezimiany in Kamchatka, Russia? Well, they did have 2 earthquakes today, a 4.2 and a 5.4, 45.6 kilometers for the 5.4, and 81.8 kilometers for the 4.2. That's pretty deep. And Bezimiany is just north up here. Bezimiany is in this area right here. And this looks like it was offshore of Kamchatka. Alright guys, so also real quick, we're here back in 2014. The day doesn't matter, and I'm not talking about seismic signals here, but notice how these are not blue anymore. Notice that? Notice how these are a lot larger. Way larger. And notice how they kind of look familiar? Like the layout and the multicolor? Well, look at these. Montana Tech uses the same type of seismograph that Yellowstone used to use, or University of Utah, until they stupidly and ridiculously downgraded their seismograms to these. And the creator of this website, which it's not his seismograms. This guy just created a website to put all the seismographs together so people could see them. Well, listen to this. Let's see, where is it? Okay, here. Well, the crisis is mitigated now. I am getting the new seismograms again for now. We'll see if it sticks. You may notice the images look smaller now. Because they are. these new seismograms, the blue ones of theirs, show 220% less detail. Yes, guys, the new seismographs that have been around for a few years, the blue ones the University of Utah uses, shows 220% less detail than the old ones did. 659 pixels to show 1800 seconds of data, or 2.731 seconds per pixel, whereas the old ones showed 1.25 seconds per pixel. So you can really forget about seeing harmonic tremors on them now. See that? Okay, guys, you cannot see harmonic tremors on these anymore. I mean, you could probably see the higher frequency events, the higher amplitude events, yes, the more long period events, but the low frequency, low amplitude harmonic tremor events that occur before eruptions, you most likely will not see on here. Most likely. Because that is why I use these guys. That is why Montana Tech is my favorite, because these guys still have the old graphs. They do. And these graphs are my favorite because it shows, see, notice these, you will never see these low frequency events on the Yellowstone seismograms, except if you look very, very, very closely. I mean, you have to look very closely. Alright, let's zoom in. Alright, notice up here, it's very hard to see. But you can see definitely a bunch of microseisms, you know, a bunch of background activity. But pay attention to the way these lines are shaped. And let's go down here. Do you see these lines right there? Those lines right there. Those lines right there. And these little lines sticking out, both up and down, those up and down motions, those are the low frequency events of this. But you can barely see them at all, because there's literally less data per pixel, which is ridiculous. I don't know any corporation or anyone on the face of the earth that purposely downgrades their instruments on purpose. Now, I believe that they still have the same instruments. I believe they do. The same exact instruments. I do not believe they changed them or did anything with them. I believe that they don't show the higher detailed seismographs anymore because they don't want people to see the harmonic tremors and the things that are going on. I just want to show you guys that. Well, today, I still use these, though, because they are pretty cool still. You know, it still shows a lot of activity. You know, this signal here is weird. It starts to increase and reaches its peak, and then literally nothing. And then the peak is there again, and then it dwindles down. That was very weird. I have no idea what can cause that. And that was that Old Faithful. And you can see here at West Boundary, Mount Sheridan, and also a little bit of Borehole 208. You can see some type of activity going on. Most likely magma intrusion going on there. And see this? This is the 5.6. USGS reported it as a 5.0. I'm reporting it as a 5.6. Canadian Seismic Agency reported it as a 5.9. Look at that. Look at how long that is. It's very weird to see one that long. That could also have to do with how shallow it was, because it was pretty damn shallow. Oh, and by the way, guys, remember how NASA said that they're going to drill into Yellowstone if an eruption was coming? Well, I believe that they've been doing it for a few years now. You see these very wavy patterns. These have been on these graphs, even on the old graphs. It used to show these very wavy patterns, very rhythmic. And I believe this is drilling, personally. But I need somebody's help. All right, guys, I'm going to ask you, can you please go online and find an image of a seismograph that shows a drilling signal? Because I've looked everywhere on the internet. I can't find anything. I'm serious. I cannot find anything. No images of seismographs showing drilling at all. Because I want to see what drilling looks like on a seismograph. Because obviously it creates vibrations, and a seismogram records vibrations. Any vibration. It's not specifically tectonic. It's not specifically volcanic. Seismograms record vibrations. And I personally, I've tried to find them. I can't find them at all, anywhere. So, it's very weird. Well, guys, it looks like I just refreshed this. And let's go to now. Yeah, guys, it looks like these low-frequency harmonic tremors are not ending. They're still going strong, especially from earlier today where there's barely anything, and you go to now, and yeah. We got a lot of low frequency tremors going on again, and I predicted it would occur in the next week to week and a half, and it occurred a day after I said that. So apparently these are happening a lot more often now. A lot more often, especially at Crow Mountain. I mean, look at that down there. Look at all these. Everywhere. The whole graph. Almost the whole graph. What the hell is going on? And I do have to say, though, guys, that these low frequency events, they're not background noise. It's not surface noise. We've already come across that because I've connected some of these events to lots of SO2 emissions and very shallow quakes, and also ground deformation. That is the main thing we need to watch with harmonic tremors, is if they are associated with ground deformation. If so, then that actually may mean there is an eruption coming. God knows when. Nobody can know except God Almighty and Jesus Christ himself. They are the only ones. God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, they are the only ones in all of eternity and all of everywhere that could ever know when this is going to erupt. I mean, it could erupt next week, in a year, in 2 years, 3 years. Personally, though, I believe it'll be in the next few decades. I do have to say, if not sooner, because of everything that's been going on lately. But you notice how the tremors are starting back up again today. See how the ground deformation, and back here. Remember how it was about, what 5, 6 days long? About 5 days long, the last episode of Harmonic Tremor. Let's see, it ended, I believe, the 19th. Notice that? It is always associated with ground deformation. Always. I remember on November 28th how we had those tremors also? Notice the large spike in ground deformation? I'm not talking about the spike right here. I'm talking about how, see how it's a lot more spread out, these dots? And notice how also these dots are more spread out here as well. And they're always associated with these low frequency events. So it's definitely not just surface noise or whatever people like to tell us. Alright, let's go to Old Faithful. See how Old Faithful's doing. They're about to shut this page down. Lovely. Oh, but they got the webcam on their main page. Got some people there. It's snowing pretty hard. Got a little bit of venting going on. It looks like the snow does not want to stick around the crater of Old Faithful. Probably because it's just way too hot. Oh yeah, and let's go to earth.noschool.net. See what's going on. This will be the first time I've checked it today, so... Alright, let's go to Earth. Shut off the movement. Go to Chem. Go to SO2SM to see the sulfur dioxide emissions at ground level. Whoa, wait a second. Carbon monoxide at surface. Whoa. What the hell is that? That's weird. Why is there such a high concentration of carbon monoxide at... Where is that? That looks like New York and New Jersey. 1537 parts per billion? Wow. Holy crap. That is very high, guys. And you know carbon monoxide can make you feel dizzy. It can even kill you in high enough concentrations. And we got a little bit of high concentration, but I believe these are because of wildfires here. Let's real quick, though, look up this dot on Google Earth real quick. Yeah, nobody cares. Come on. Come on, buddy. Let's see what's here. Alright. We are... Let's see. Where are we? Okay, I thought it was Long Valley, but it's not. Long Valley is right here. This is right where it was centered. Let's see, what city is this? Why wouldn't it show me the city? Tulare City Hall. So, the center of it seems to be coming from this area right here. And I don't know why it's not showing me the city names. Oh, wait a second. There we go. It's near Lindsay, California. It's a little bit southeast of Fresno. And I don't think there's any volcanoes there or anything. So I don't know why there's two high concentrations of carbon monoxide right now. One southeast of Fresno, and the other is right here in New Jersey, New York. Let's see the carbon dioxide count. Carbon dioxide here as well. Okay. That's weird, guys. That's really weird, because you see right here, blue is the end of the scale. Okay, I'm getting a little freaked. Why would... Okay, let's hope that sulfur dioxide is not being emitted from this area. Not really. But there's a lot over here. Wow. Yeah, wow. You know, I wonder... So, do you remember when they said that there's a rising blob of magma underneath New England? Could this be the area that it is occurring? Because it's very weird that we are seeing a high concentration of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, which I don't think volcanoes can emit carbon monoxide, but they do emit carbon dioxide. They can. And this is the carbon dioxide count. Yeah, that's very weird. And here's sulfur dioxide emissions at ground level. Still got those stationary plumes up there in Canada that we've been having for a long time now. We got a stationary plume here, 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 right here. I remember this is Soda Springs right here in this area. Let's see. Long Valley isn't giving off anything, thank God. Looks like Mount St. Helens could be, maybe. Down here, I don't know where that is. I think that might be Newberry. Yeah, that is very strange, though, guys. Alright, guys, so now we're going to go check the heliplots, the USGS heliplots. Just to see what's been going on today. I've actually only been checking the Montana network today. I haven't been checking anything else, so I'll do it with you guys here. If it'll go. There we go. Alright. Got some strange activity in Panama, Grenada. See that? Looks like the activity kind of coincides with each other. Panama, Grenada. I wonder if they're near each other. Let's see. Normal earthquakes. Don't see any strange tremors. Turkey is always having those very weird up and down motions. I have no idea what that is. They're a little long to be harmonic tremors, that's for sure. Russia's been seeing those strange spikes as well. Tuvalu still seeing those thick lines showing possible harmonic tremors. Possible. Texas still seeing those spikes, even though they're not reporting any earthquakes. Johnston Island, USA. Now, these have been showing some very thick lines. Kind of look like harmonic tremors every once in a while. Today, they don't really, but the line shouldn't be this thick, so let's go see where Johnston Island is. Ah, I see. It is an underwater volcano. See the cone shape right here? That is an underwater volcano. And it says Johnston Island, USA, because apparently this looks like an old military base. Johnston Atoll. Didn't they do a nuclear test here one time? But yeah, I hope they know they're sitting on top of a volcano, because, yeah, a volcano that's ready to blow at any moment. And what is this? What the hell is this? What the hell? You see that? What is that? That is weird. Okay, then. Yeah, this is a very weird area, especially right here. There's nothing here at all. Why would they have a patch of land right here? And it looks artificially created, possibly. Who knows? Yeah, Norway has been seeing those spikes as well. All right, see Hawaii here. Hawaii always has volcanic activity. These are harmonic tremors. And maybe not just harmonic tremors, multiple different types of volcanic tremors, most likely, because Hawaii is very volcanically active and the magma is actually very close to the surface in Hawaii. I mean, that's how those islands were created. Canary Islands, they shut off the monitor again. More large activity. Kermadec Islands. Whoa there. Greenland. Could be, because Greenland is somewhat close to Iceland, so who knows where this monitor is located. Could be that a volcano is about to erupt in Iceland. Happens all the time. But that is very weird activity to see at Greenland. Very weird. Those are definitely harmonic tremors, so there's no doubt about it. Wake Island is still seeing that activity. Probably Kiribati. Let's see here. Kansas, seeing some very strange signals as well. Those strange spikes. Hello. Texas, seeing some strange activity as well. But besides that, there's not too much going on in the world right now. Nebraska, hello. What's going on with you, buddy? But let's see, that's Mississippi. Where is it? There it is. Tennessee and Oklahoma. Wow. I was going to say maybe that's a calibration error. I highly doubt that's a calibration error. I mean, the monitor is literally shaking. So who knows what the hell's going on there. Well, guys, I am back here at the Montana Tech Seismic Network. And I just wanted to go to Moose Ponds, Wyoming, because I haven't checked that one yet today. And let me guess. Let me zoom in before I even look. Halfway down the graph, it's going to show large increase in low-frequency events. And how did I guess? Yeah, guys, so the low-frequency harmonic tremors have returned at Yellowstone. They're back. Lots sooner than I thought they would be. Well, guys, I thank you for your time. Thank you for putting up with me. And I'm not going to be editing this video much at all, because I got to go to the doctor's appointment in just a bit. So, I thank you for your time. And, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. And, you should always treat every Christmas as the last Christmas. Always. Always, because you never know when we're going to get another year. Hell, you never know if we're going to get another day. Nobody ever knows when they're going to die. Nobody knows that. So you should always treat this day as your last. And always remember Jesus Christ as your Savior. And He'll always be there for you, always. And because Christmas is about His birth. He was obviously born sometime in the spring. Definitely not in the winter. But this is when we celebrate His birth. And I hope people are more open to that. Because a lot of people even get offended when sometimes people say Merry Christmas, which is ridiculous. But, I refuse to say Happy Holidays. I say it here and there, but mainly I say Merry Christmas. So, guys, God bless you all, and Merry Christmas.